Remember begging your parents for a bedtime story? Snow White, Cinderella, Little Red Riding Hood. We all loved them. But what if I told you the sweet tales you remember are just watered down, sanitized versions of the real thing? The originals weren't meant to lull you to sleep. They were meant to keep you alive. Before Disney got its hands on them, fairy tales were brutal, terrifying survival guides passed down through generations. They weren't entertainment. They were warnings. In a world without police, modern medicine, or social safety nets, these stories taught children the harsh realities of life. A wrong turn in the woods wasn't a fun adventure, it was a death sentence. Let's take Hansel and Gretel. The story we know is about two kids outsmarting a witch, but the original tale comes from a time of devastating famine in Europe. It wasn't about a wicked stepmother. It was about desperate parents who couldn't feed their children and chose to abandon them in the forest to starve. The witch's gingerbread house wasn't just a fantasy. It represented the lure of a quick fix in desperate times, a warning against temptations that seemed too good to be true. The real horror wasn't the witch. It was the very real threat of starvation and being abandoned by your own family. And what about Little Red Riding Hood? It's not just a cute story about a girl, a grandma, and a talking wolf. The earliest versions are much, much darker. The wolf doesn't just eat grandma. In some versions, he tricks Red Riding Hood into eating her own grandmother's flesh and drinking her blood. The story was a graphic, terrifying lesson for young girls. Do not talk to strangers. Ever. Predators are real. They are charming, and they will destroy you. The red cape itself is often interpreted as a symbol of a girl on the brink of womanhood, a target for unwanted attention. The message was clear. Disobedience leads to unspeakable horror. Even Cinderella wasn't all glass slippers and fairy godmothers. In the Grimm brothers version, there's no magical forgiveness. The evil stepsisters are so desperate to fit into the slipper that one cuts off her toe and the other cuts off her heel. They literally mutilate themselves for a chance at a better life. And do they get a happy ending? Nope. At Cinderella's wedding, pigeons fly down and peck out their eyes, leaving them blind beggars for the rest of their lives. The moral cruelty and deceit will be met with equally brutal punishment. There was no room for second chances. These stories were designed to instill fear for a reason. Fear was a tool for survival. They taught children to be obedient, to be wary of strangers, and to understand the harsh consequences of their actions in a world where a single mistake could be your last. They weren't about happily ever after. They were about making it to the next day. So, the next time you think of a fairy tale, remember the dark forest of reality it grew from. The real magic wasn't in the castles or the princes. It was in the brutal lessons that helped generations survive. What other sweet fairy tales do you think have a dark secret? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed uncovering these dark truths, make sure to like and subscribe for more.